So you said this is what, 1 1/8 inch?
1 1/8 inch, yep.
And it's just tapered at the end.
Yep.
Did you do that with the lathe?
I just did that at the grinder, I think, just to taper it a bit. This is just stuff, I found we found laying around the shop. This wasn't big enough, but I still use it to start, to get it started. This is about just a frog hair over an inch. It's not quite big enough. But if I try to go straight to this, right off of that, if I probably turned that on the lathe and tapered it, it would probably be all right, but it's just too steep to get it started. Mm-hmm. So I start with this. You gonna explain it at all?
You just did.
Oh. You got it recorded?
Yeah.
Oh.
You explained it better than I would.
Well then, first off, then what we have right here is 3/4 inch, 160 PSI water pipe. Okay?
Yep.
And then this fitting is just something I found at the shop laying around. It worked. It doesn't make it big enough. It's just over 1 inch. This bronze piece is 1 1/8 inch. That's the size that makes it slip right over the manifold, so it's nice and tight. It'll go on fairly easy. You still got to hose clamp it, but it's not bad. Use a heat gun, not a torch. I tried using a torch once. Gets it too hot, melts the pipe. That's what happens when you use a torch. Right there. This is an old junk piece I've had laying around because I ruined it once. So, hot gun. You want to keep the heat down low. You don't want it way up in here because it gets flexible and it can break. Probably should have heated the pipe up a little bit first, or the shaft itself. Let it cool on there for a minute so it stays in form. Then we'll pop it off and go to the next stage. Yeah, this is 1 1/8 inch. If the guy wanted to, he could probably turn that down and do it all in one pass, but instead it's just stuff I found around the shop, so it works.
You mean like make this less steep of an angle on this?
Yeah, if you cut it down in the lathe, cut it, and then made a step further back so it would slide in, then you could press it all in one push. But works.
How long did you let it cool down there for? Just until you could touch it?
Yeah, it needs to cool a little bit longer. It's still pretty warm. When it cools, it'll form. All right, so we got it flared just a little bit. Have to do that to get this one on. Without flaring it, it wants to crush, so. A little bit chilly in here. Everything's a little chilly, so I'm going to preheat this time. As tempting as it is to do a torch on this, just to make this faster, it's not worth it. It just doesn't work. You gotta be patient. Patient with the heat gun. Just need about an inch flared to go on the manifold. That's all the factory ones are. Enough to get the hose clamp on there. Yet to have one come off that I've made.
So you just need about an inch of that flared, right?
About an inch flared to go over top of the manifold is plenty. That's all. That's about what they have from the factory ones. Your hose clamp, you use a standard hose clamp, which is about yay wide, so plenty enough room to get a hose clamp on there. Like I said, I've never had one come off. This stuff's about 20 cents a foot. At the farm store, well, it used to be. I haven't bought a roll in a couple of years, but I think the last 100-foot roll I bought was like 20, 25 bucks. Make a lot of seed tubes with a 100-foot roll.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a nice smooth angle right there for the seed to come out of the distributor and get on the tube. Voila.
Save yourself what? A couple $100 bucks?
I don't know what one costs, to be honest with you. Never priced one, but you know, the end's not perfect down here as far as being flat, but it'll slide right over. It'll go all the way down to here over top of the manifold, clamp it. I've never had one come off. So that's it. 3/4 inch, 160 PSI water pipe. Flare the end out to 1 1/8 inches, and it slides right over top of the manifold. Cut it to length.